name is Jacquie Phelan. My other name is Alice B. Tokups. I got into bike racing at the age of 25, so 5 years younger than Charlie Kelly when he threw his leg over the saddle. And I'm so glad that I got my college education out of the way, because critical thinking matters a lot. And a lot of folks that start going pretty hard at 12 don't even bother with college. There's a guy named Steve, I forget what his name was, but he was from Davis, and he disappeared after 6th grade. Big racer, and he died early with 5 kids. Anyway, but he's like, he quit school so early and didn't get an education. And for some reason, I'm just really into the books and the wisdom that, I guess, like flashing ideas and flashing stuff out. Oh, let's flip through some pictures. Well, so, is there another picture? Okay, so I'm the queen, and you have my little keepsake, and I totally revel in the role that I began to fill, which is like the queen of mountain biking. Doesn't mean I was the first woman doing it, because Wendy Craig and Denise Caramano were doing it. But I definitely took it sort of seriously as a platform for social change, specifically feminist goals and social engineering. I saw the bicycle as a way to liberate women. And since that was one of my few majors in college, I just thought how perfect to reenact the entire drama of the feminist movement back in the late 1800s. Women spent 70 years trying to get the vote after the Emancipation Proclamation. All the emancipators sat around like, okay, who's next? The slaves are free, even though you all know they were not free just because of a piece of paper. We're still working on, you know, like why are so many black men in prisons and stuff. But anyway, at least supposedly, technically, they were allowed to vote, although you also must know that for 50 years they didn't get to vote because they had to pass a test, and it was grim. But anyway, so the next person, the next people disenfranchised, the majority was women. And so people put their full political power and electoral ability on the enfranchised women. And that happily coincided with the beginning of the mass market, and the cutting-edge technology of the day was the two-wheeled bicycle. I talk a little to that. What would be good is if you just start like a universal signal like that, just a little slower. Well, anyway.
It should indicate when you want a slide change.
Okay, you can change the slide. It's just a distraction.
Okay.
Yeah, women, I think, appreciate their bikes in a different way than men. You can just flip on through again. This is my friend Charlie Kelly. He was he ran a moving company, piano moving, and on the side he was a weightlifter. So you can't tell, but this is like a little fox pelt, and he's on the roof of his of the building that he worked out of, dealing with a phone call, taking an order, and getting in a few crows as well. I just really liked that shot because I set it up myself. And
I haven't seen it in 20 years, but okay.
I know. Well, I took it. Now you can. Next picture is my Charlie. See, a lot of people think I'm married to him. But I'm married to him. And he's the shy, retiring sort, and he's not going to appear on any timelines anytime too soon. However, I'm hoping that Sarah will fix that. His bike actually resembles, design-wise, the modern mountain bike, because he didn't believe that the Schwinn Cruiser from the 30s was actually such a great design. It had a 49-inch wheelbase and big handlebars, and he was just riding his mom's 10-speed in the woods when the guys were putting their heavy things in the truck and driving to the top of the hill, trying to ride, change gears, and it was on skinny tires with drop bars. And we continued to wear drop bars. And there's a few folks that have a little trouble with that, a little traditionalist. Even Illich, Energy and Equity. Great book. Please write it down and read it. That's my assignment to you. It's really important.
If you take my summer class, then we'll look at it.
Great. It's just a monograph. It's a small monograph written, I think it's the World Watch Institute published it. So there's another PowerPoint. You can go another page or two, but I don't think I have any more. Yeah. So like go to the other one, and then we just like, I want you to just hit beats, and then maybe I'll say stop. That's the one that is down, Hall of Fame Sonoma Museum. So Charlie Kelly mentioned strong work ethic and everything. That's not that one, but the one, oh, it's taking his time, yeah. So I'm the opposite, I'm in a way kind of the opposite of Charlie Kelly. And I am kind of proud to inspire you to quit racing, because then I get to brag about frightening the men, and that's That's actually my subtle motive when I was racing. I really wanted to beat the men. And any man with a number on, I was technically allowed to beat, because that was okay, you know? Rather than like, which is what my dad did to me when I was growing up, and I just like sort of had this thing about beating men with issues. So I found a, yeah, there was me on my bike and my pet wombat back in the 40s. So now just run. This is what the art looked like at the turn of the century. It was gorgeous. That's me in my pretend outfit. I wanted that. I don't know how to sew, so I made a paper coat like the women wore with the big mutton sleeves and then the tight arms. Tons and tons of beautiful pictures. You can just beat after beat after beat. Pretty little scorcher, cyclopedia, when the boys and girls go wheeling. The Norsemen beat. LA, oh yeah, so the LAW was the League of American Wheelmen, and they actually got the roads paved. The Good Roads movement was by bicycles. Now, I about 2 years ago went to the Smithsonian and saw their transportation wing, and it was sponsored by Chevrolet. So I thought, oh, this should be very interesting. Let's just see how the car made our country great. That's a woman who was protesting getting beaten down. No self-respecting, no self-respecting woman should wish or work for the success of a party who ignores her wishes. Who ignores her sex. Oh, okay, fine. So anyway, because Chevrolet gets to like frame the debate over there at the Smithsonian, you only see a few bicycles and they're sort of in the background. And that just, I've never gone to a museum come out with steam coming out of my ears. It was just like, excuse me, to the people next to me, that's not true. What you're seeing is not true. The bicycle was actually the reason the roads were built and everything. I was like, sure, yeah, lady, whatever. But it's totally true. And this is the gal that wrote a great book that I'm completely jealous of, How Women Rode the Bike to Freedom, and with a few flat tires along the way. That's by Susan God knows who. That's a typical bicycle club at the turn of the century. And when I named the Club Women's Mountain Bike and Tea Society, I knew that I was like going to try to reflect those days. And I actually love tea. Next. So, if you want to be feminine, don't be too adventurous, powerful and analytic, competitive, self-reliant, ambitious, aggressive, sweaty, dominant, and never jealous, superior. Next. B. Nurturing, beauty, obsessed, affectionate, soothing, soft-spoken, warm, gentle, sympathetic, dependent, sensitive, superficial, inconsequential. And preferably wear spiked heels and care about your clothes and worry about, just worry about your goddamn skin or your hair. Are we allowed to profane in these halls?
We are all adults.
But it's okay? I'm just fascinated to see.
They get to go to R-rated movies.
Okay. Right. Okay, so to me, Major Taylor is an honorary woman because he was a black man and he was an international racing hero, but he had to be that in Europe because here there were guys hiding in the bushes to punch him because he was better than any of the white guys.
Major Taylor was the first acknowledged world champion of any sport.
Well, there were women also being the world champion at the same time as him, and you've never heard of them because they don't have anybody making well, it's up to people like you and possibly me to come up with, like, why is Sally Anderson, hold on, oh crap, she's a Swedish-American gal.
Tilly Anderson?
Tilly Anderson, yeah. So there, I rest my case. So anyway, she was also the world champ, and when she began winning, they changed the rules of racing so that no woman was allowed to race. So that ends up, I actually got to experience the same thing in mountain bike racing. When I was really strong, but I was 35, they said, you don't get to race elite pros anymore, you have to race veterans. And I go, why? I'm a pro and I race with all the pros even though they're 10 years younger than me. And they go, well, the rules state that you have to be...
I didn't write that wrong.
I know you didn't.